Hello everyone and welcome to the Unkindled Guide to Dark Souls 3. Today I want to talk about weapon infusion, and I want to talk about the first two I'm going to talk about is the fire gem and deep gem. The fire gem you can pick as your burial gift, and the deep gem you don't actually find a deep gem, but you find a deep battle axe. The fire gem and the deep gem have no scaling, but they are but they give like very good flat damage. And through upgrading through Titanite shards, through Titanite shards, you can take them to end game. So, uh, if you just if that if like you don't if you're not doing a if you're not investing in dex or strength that heavily, and you're more of a magic user, or you're investing your points into another stat, you can just use those and they will do you very good. But into New Game Plus, you may want to get weapons that do scale, and you can use Chaos Gems or you can use Dark Gems, which do have scaling. Chaos Gem scales with Int and Faith, and Dark Gem scales with Faith. The next gem I'm going to talk about is the Crystal Gem, which the Crystal Gem, which scales with Intelligence. So if you are doing a sorcery class and you aren't too invest and you aren't that invested in Dex or Strength, which have high int, you can make a crystal weapon to increase your melee damage for whatever melee weapon you may choose. Just to take a quick second, I picked up some ashes. Those ashes you give to the handmaiden. The handmaiden then sells a grave key. I think it's called a grave key. Uh, I show you what to do with it. I show you everything with it, but I'm just telling you what the ashes do and what they're for, and he also sells some other stuff. Also, you may notice he isn't shooting at me. I do make a few mistakes and roll near his shots, but he's not shooting at me. That's what happens when you go up to the the tower, and you talk to him. He doesn't shoot at you anymore, and that counts for wherever there's white birch trees. So any of you that may be wondering what hollow gems do, or if you're trying to see the point in luck besides um, increased item discovery, luck increases hollow gem scaling. Or that's not the right way to say it. Hollow gems infusion scales with your luck. So if you're doing a bleed or poison build, but you do want to do some damage, using a hollow gem will allow your weapon to scale with luck. I don't think there's a physical, you can look and see the scaling with it. I don't think there's a little emblem that says luck and scaling, but it does scale with luck. So if you're invested in luck, hollow gems are your increase to physical damage since you might have not oh, excuse me. Holy shit. You might not have invested in strength or dex that high. Now right here I'm fighting the cursed rotted Greatwood. He killed me a couple times, but the real thing is you just have to get in the I wouldn't say pattern, but I guess get into the rhythm of his attacks. Because when you're by yourself, it's really difficult to attack his weak spots. His weak spots are the giant white bubbles on him. Obviously, the first one's the one that's in his crotch region, but he also has one on his right hand. I think is that his right hand or left hand? I think it's his right hand, but I try to hit it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think. Where is all his weak points at? I'm trying to think. I know one's on his. Oh, it's his ankle. One's his ankle. One's his hand. One's on his back. One's on his elbow, and the other's in his groin area. He has 5 weak points. Now you really only need to bust 3 to take him down to like half health. Like, so yeah, bust 3, you take him down to half health. Busting the center one causes a giant hand to come out, and that just makes things a little more difficult. So you might want to do that one last out of all of them. But he also has other weaknesses that you can hit if you're if you're more like you know, better with a bow or something, because you can just take a bow and snipe at him, but like I said, it's a little risky because he has one on his right elbow, one on his high thigh, one on his higher body, and that's on his back. So if you can take a bow and just shoot them on the back and on his elbow, you'd be pretty good. But my demonstration should be good enough to help you get through this part. Also, the second phase is really easy. After the second phase, he you can bait an attack from him that is really easy to dodge. So right here, he breaks the floor. Don't worry, you won't take any fall damage. Like, my character looks like he's gonna take fall damage, but you don't take fall damage, which irritates the living hell out of me. I'm like, why would you have an area where you would drop and you would die in any other case? Like, if you come back to this boss room, you could fall down and die. You won't survive. So it's like, why even make this room? Like, why would you do that? That's so weird. It's like, it's so inconsistent. So there I am trying to shoot him with arrows, but it's a little too slow for me. Now, his weak point is his hand. That hand is his weak point. So this is the move that's just easy to bait, and he does, and it just makes him super vulnerable. Now I go for like this fucking knee or try to go to more bubbles, but then I'm like, no, his hand is the weak point. So I try to go hit his hand, but he gets up before I can. So you should stay like if you take his size and take how his range is, stay like medium to long range, not too far, but just like you teasing him, like you just in range, and then he'll stand up, do that little walk and fall over, and you can run over and just start beating his hand, and you do crazy damage, and just run away and bait it again. Now, in my last video, I talked about the mound makers and how to get to them. If you want to join the mound makers, do not do this boss fight until you get in that cage and talk to Holy Knight Herodric. Because if you do this boss fight, you cannot join the mound makers, because Holy Knight Herodric is dead. Because when the floor collapses, it crushes and kills him. And I'll show you his body after this boss fight. Now, while we are on the subject, there's a new gem called the Blessed Gem. The Blessed Gem gives you healing over time on shields or weapons. Plus, on shields, healing over time. On weapons, more damage to undead, like skeletons. Then you have, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the Simple Gem, which scales with int and restores your FP. So if you're using a weapon and you are a sorcery build, or maybe even a faith build, having a simple gem infusion on your weapon makes it so you regenerate FP over time. So I think I talked about a little. Okay, I haven't talked about the lightning gem. It's as simple as that. It's lightning. It scales with faith. You know, it's just like in the previous game. I talked about the chaos gem, which scales with in and faith. That's the alternate to the fire gem, and I said like the dark gem is the alternate to the deep gem. They do dark damage. It does dark damage. That's Holy Knight Herodric. So if he's dead, so you can't join the Malmakers now. So just remember that. This is the altar where you can sacrifice your vertebrae. Sacrificing 10 vertebrae gets you the bloodlust katana, which has which you need I think 24 dex and 11 strength to use. It's basically Bloodborne's Chikage weapon where it gets stronger by you sacrificing some of your health. So, you know, use that at your leisure. Then we got you got your raw gem, your sharp gem, your heavy gem, and your refined gem. I talked about them earlier. Sharp gem is for dexterity builds. Heavy gem is for strength builds. Refined gem or for quality builds. Builds that are high in both dex and strength. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else about? What about what else? Excuse me. What else about the gems could I tell you?
Very well, then touch take nourishment for.
Hmm. Oh, also, if you don't like an infusion on your weapon, you can remove. Excuse me. You can remove it by using the shriveling stone. It basically undoes fusion. Undoes infusions. So, if you don't like how a weapon turned out, you can just undo it with a shriveling stone. Excuse me. I'm sorry if my commentary is a little weird today. I'm very tired. Just got off of work, but I wanted to get this episode up because tomorrow I'll be working a double. So I won't be able to get the episode up tomorrow. But Monday we'll be back at it covering the Road of Sacrifice. What else? What else? What else? Well, there's other mechanics I want to talk to you guys about. I'm trying to think. Oh. Oh. I think, who am I talking to? Oh yeah, this is where I buy the grave key. So I'm about to take you guys to get the cleric. Not the cleric, but the woman who teaches you. She teaches you. What does she teach you? Miracles. I'm sorry, I'm having so many brain farts today. She teaches you miracles.
Heavens, she was already dead.
Now I accidentally cut out the part where I talk to him and give him Loretta's bone, but basically you give him the bone and he's like super like shocked and stuff, but he tries to hold it together and he's like, you know, what was I expecting? Thanks for doing that. Here's the ring. Just keep it. This is my gift to you. And you know how when you're trying to hold back tears, you like. That's like every time you talk to him and just talk to him, he like just has that. Like he wishes you goodbye and he's glad to see you come back. Like he's genuinely worried when you leave and really happy to see you, and then he's like kind of sad and worried because like when you leave out again, like he's like be safe. And like Garrett is a really good character, and the voice actor like gets him down pat. And like whenever you choose to talk up, excuse me, whenever you use the talk option, he's I forgot what he says, but I think I'll show you guys. But he says something like, thanks for what you did. You can keep the ring as a gift, and you know, something. I forgot. But at the end of it, he says, "I suppose," or something like that, and he's like, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't talk to this dude. I can't talk to him too much because he's just so sad. He's so sad." What is it? What is it?
Pretty be careful.
So who? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna show you how to get Irene of Carim. She's a failed firekeeper, I think. Yeah, I remember if Egon of Carim tells you he's a failed firekeeper, he tried to get her to become a firekeeper. Now she has a quest line that I'll be following as the cleric, and she has two outcomes in her life. So I'll be showing you both of the two outcomes for her. Excuse me. Also, I gotta show you Lionheart, the ring finger. As the sorcerer already unlocked him because I was trying to get. I wanted to get the red-eyed orb so I could do unlimited invasions as a mad phantom so I can get vertebraes to get the bloodlust. You need 10 vertebraes to get the bloodlust. Um, the bloodlust. What's it called? To get the bloodlust. It's katana. I'm just having so many brain farts today. I'm so sorry. Like I tried to get some order, but like I said, I'm really tired. But I didn't want to go to sleep. I wanted to get this video out. So that's basically what I want to cover. I covered some of the gems that so you excuse me. I covered some of the gems and told you what they do and what their scaling is. So, you know, when you're going out there in the world and you're having trouble defeating some bosses, just think of the gems. You know, you got some gems on you, just start infusing your weapon. So this is the grave key area. Going down here, turn to your right, you'll find the statue of Velka, where she can remove your sins. So if you killed any NPCs, if you killed any players, go to her and she'll remove your sins, but she can also cure your curse. So if you don't get the Firekeeper soul to heal the dark side, you can just go there to heal it. Now in this area there are skeletons. So they're not like cursed skeletons, like they won't get back up. So don't worry about that. You can just easily kill them. There are 4 skeletons in this room. 2 by the item. 1 is up on the corner. Well, one in each corner. 2 by the item. And these skeletons are really weird. Like they look like the dudes we see up in the undead village who were sitting in like the rocket chairs, but they look like they're made out of trees. Like that's really strange. Oh, excuse me. I guess it's 5 down here. Or maybe it's 4. I don't know. I closed my eyes. So that's human pine resin. It's basically dark pine resin. It's basically dark buff. It's a dark buff. Down here there's a dog and a undead worker, but there's also a skeleton down there and there's a skeleton behind you. So just take note of that when you go into this area. More human pine resin. Oh, is it dark? I think human pine resin is dark, or it could just be a hollow buff. I'm not sure because there's a lot more resins in this game, and they don't have like really straightforward names. Like you can find pale skin resin, which is magic buff. So there's a crystal lizard down here. You can just attack him. Don't worry. But those two items, be careful because there are manservants up on the cliff edge who will try to jump down and slam attack you, as you just saw right there. So be very careful and don't linger around for too long. So we run around here and we go into this room real quick. And in this room is an ambush. There's a bunch of rats, but you only see one. Like, remember what I said about seeing like one enemy who's really weak? It's an ambush. And then you see they like, decent people tell you about this shit. Others will be like, oh, it's safe, blah blah blah, and shit like that. So arrange him. And I look around. I look around to see if I can see any in the holes or something, but they don't come out until you go over to pick up the item, or you just generally go over there. I don't want to fight them because rats, like dogs, can stun lock the shit out you. So I just route. I just climb back. I climb up there and be done with it. Now this is like I told you. This particular Irene of Carim, the miracle woman. She's actually was a nun from back in her homeland, but she's also blonde.
Someone there? Anyone? Oh, please, whoever you are, touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me. Ah, yes, there you are. So close, indeed. Then I am not entirely alone just yet. Praise the merciful gods above.
Yeah, get a new emote thing or whatever.
Oh, forgive me. I am Irina of Carim. I came to this land so that I might be a firekeeper. Your touch has freed me from the darkness. You are a champion, then. I am weak and unfit to tend the flames. But if it would not trouble you, might I enter into your service instead? Oh, thank you, sweet champion. I shall take my vows. I, Irina of Carim, solemnly swear to serve you.
So now she'll be back at Firelink Shrine to teach you miracles and a whole lot of other goodies.
You've gone and rescued her, have you? How very quaint. Pitying creatures that are beyond help. Yeah. Very well. I'm sick of looking after her at any rate. I am Egon, a knight of Carim. I am allied to you for as long as you assure the girl's safety. And only for that long.
That's the item I was talking about again, but this time I shoot it down with the arrow and I go grab it. The item is a red and white blessed shield. Excuse me. Like I said earlier, blessed weapons blessed shields restore HP over time. So you might, if you're having health issues, you can just grab it, equip it, and then two-hand your weapon if you don't use shields. Just make sure you can carry it. But it's a wooden shield, so it's a wooden small shield. It's also parry. It also is a parry shield. So if you are into parrying and you want a shield that regenerates your health, feel free to take that until you find a better parry shield and a blessed gem. So what I do is I actually drop off and plunge attack them. I try to see if I can throw a firebomb down, but it's no go. So drop down, plunge attack, and just start going off on them. Again, be very careful because they can stun lock you to death. Now, I didn't lock on for the first bit because they were just everywhere and I was just swinging blindly. But, I locked onto the last one. So here is the shield, a blessed red and white shield +1. So I forgot that it was upgraded. So you got, so if you, so you know, you're looking for a good shield that's a parry shield, I think that's a good shield that's also a parry shield. Also, upgrading shields, if you use shields a lot, it is viable. If you don't use shields a lot, don't really upgrade shields. Just, you know, if you got a particular shield you like the grass crush shield, which regen stamina faster, you can use that. But honestly, I've used both the grass crush shield, excuse me, grass crush shield or crust grass shield with the core. Sorry, I can't fucking talk. My mouth doesn't work. But there's the ring that regens stamina. Now, the reason there was a cut there, because I ended up dying somewhere, and I just basically went through an entire area that I already went through as the sorcerer, and I did nothing new. So I just cut it all out. So here is the segue from the undead settlement to the road of sacrifice. Be aware that there is a Bowril Knight in here. He is a dickbag. He attacks so much and acts like he doesn't know what the definition of stamina is. So, if you got a bow, like I said, invest in a bow. Shoot that son of a bitch in the fucking head from a distance. Jesus fucking ass. Fuck him. I've told you, I mean, I don't tell you, I can't fucking tell you how many times I tried to go against this guy with a quality build. And I was like, somewhere like, I had like 20 straight, 20 decks. I was using like a excuse me, like a +4, what was it? +4 something. And it was just fucking cheese him. Don't fight him. He's a bastard. Cheese his ass. That the sword he dropped is a good sword, and the sword can carry you deep into the game, but the only problem is you can't buff it and you can't infuse it, and it uses Twinkle and Titanite, I think, to upgrade. So it's a good weapon, but I don't really think it's the best weapon to take into the end game. Like, I'm gonna say the weapon falls off around Bowril Valley, but that's for when we get there. So I'm gonna call it ends here. And I think that I'll see you all in the next episode. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned a lot.